Chase, and this is Building a Million One Day at a Time. So I want to talk today a little about how to make yourself better than 50% of Americans, okay? A statistic came out saying that half of Americans, if they had a $400 emergency bill, couldn't afford to pay it. That kind of is insane to me. That's over 140 million Americans, okay? Just insane. How do they get themselves into a situation where they can't afford to pay a $400 emergency bill? So first of all, what I think that you should do is build yourself up to have an emergency fund that's at least $1,000. If you do that, you're gonna be better off than 50% of Americans, and you're gonna be prepared for those definite emergencies, okay? So if you think about it, what could happen in your life that could cause yourself to have an emergency that would cost you $400 or $500? Okay, a few things. Again, I own homes. I'm a landlord. Biggest one for me that would cost me about $400 or $500, and this has happened multiple times, is having a water heater go out. Water heaters cost generally $400 to $500, and if you can't install it yourself, that's going to be another $150, $200 on top of it. Okay, but let's say you are driving your car and transmission goes out. That could be a couple $100. Let's say you need new tires. You get a flat, say on all four, or your tires are all bald and you need new ones. That's going to be $400 or $500. Okay, there's a lot of things that could cost $400 or $500 that could put you in this predicament. Okay, so what I would suggest doing first is we're already saving 10 to 20% to put into index funds or ETFs, right? We're already saving 10 to 20% to put towards our first investment of a home for a down payment. You're thinking, I'm already saving 20 to 40%. Chase, how am I going to save more to save up $1,000 in an emergency fund? Okay, and that is a good question, one that's valid and needs to be addressed. So what we're going to talk about is how to save that $1,000, not by taking more each month out of your income. So let's think about what you spend every month to look into what we could maybe cut back on to get to that $1,000. And you're thinking, well, how do I know what I spend? I don't know. I don't really look at that. If you're not writing down everything you spend your money on every month, you should be. That's step one. Write down so you know what you're spending your money on, okay? If you're not doing it weekly, you should at least be doing it monthly. I look at my expenses and my income every week, if not every day, to manage and see what's going on. That is a priority to be able to know what you're spending and how much you're saving, okay? So we're writing it down. The number one thing that I see most Americans spend a lot of their money on is something that's easily cut out, and that is their morning coffee. Every morning and pass up Perks, and there's 6 to 10 cars always in the drive-through, and it is ridiculous. They're spending $5 to $6 on a cup of coffee. That's easily going to save you over $100 a month, okay? So if you can cut out your coffee for I'm going to say for, maybe 6 months, you'll get that saved up. The other is soda. How many people make a run to the closest gas station or like a Slurps Up type place and get their $2, $3 drink of caffeine that day, or do it multiple times? If we cut back on soda, that's a big thing that would help you put that money towards saving up your $1,000 emergency fund. Another thing, gaming. It's crazy how much money we spend on gaming, entertainment, stuff like that every single month, and that adds up. I know people that spend tons of money on their phone for games, they spend money on games for the Switch, or they spend it on Steam or stuff like that. If you cut out gaming for a little while, or just play the free games you already have until you get that emergency nest built up, then by all means, go back to spending your, $150 on whatever you want a month, okay? But don't do that and not have that emergency fund saved up. If you don't have that saved, that's what you need to be focused on first and foremost, because you don't know when that $400 or $500 emergency bill is gonna happen, and you wanna be prepared for it now, not in a year from now. And you don't want to have to sacrifice not having your car for 6 months because you don't have that money saved, okay? So that's my advice to you, to make sure we know what we're spending our money on, look at that budget, see where we can cut back, get that $1,000 emergency fund built up, and then go back to enjoying your coffee, soda, gaming, whatever it is that you want to do. Thanks for joining me today, and make sure to keep building that million one day at a time.